I know I'm up here eating on some muffins myself.
All right, here we go. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to First Stream Podcast. As you see, we have taken over.
We just took up
Myself,
y'all little broadcast and whatnot.
we have taken over.
You little Washington Commander fans.
Lady A is out on appointments.
Lady A out there.
We see
My
her later.
body's all over your body.
and our fearless leader pick, he'll be here as soon as he can. He'll be here. He is on his way. He'll be here as soon as he can. We're gonna give you a quick rundown of what we're doing today. We're gonna talk about the NCAA tournament. Has anybody bracket been busted? Is it a bad day at the pro day for Georgia today? Some yes, some no. Then we're gonna talk about Cowboy free agent. We're gonna get more information on what he's seen and what he likes and what may be to come for the Cowboy free agency. And then we're gonna talk about the Commanders quarterback situation. Was it a good idea? Was it a bad idea? Or what do we do? With that, we welcome you to First Stream Podcast.
Ready for your beats? My first song from the person.
All right. Again, welcome to First Stream Podcast. It is the Said and Ammo takeover.
You know some bad? Now you can get the best takes possible. We done got Lady A out of here. She talking about get me my sage. I think we about to make a bad draft pick. And then Pick just saying ain't blurting out irrational things. That ain't holding. Pick. He got his hand under his jersey. It's holding. You got the two most logical sports reporters on here right now. You guys are welcome.
Roger that. We're gonna start off by welcoming the people in the chat that showed up there. Bruce, as we see from here, you're first one in the building. Welcome, Bruce. And Bruce wants to know who's cashing checks today. Good question. How you doing, Drew?
Big Drew.
He'll be here as soon as he can, Drew. And good evening again to there, Bruce. Well, Ammo.
Yes, sir.
This is the kickoff to the NCAA tournament.
Le brackets busted.
Any brackets broken right now at this point? Are there any brackets that's busted right now at this point? Talk to me, Ant.
Well, let's just be real here. Now, Mitch Titcherer did say that there was going to be a 13 seed to make it through or something like that. Look like the man know what he's talking about. Who knew Princeton and Furman was going to do that? Both in the same, a 13 and a 15 seed. So absolutely, brackets big busting. You know what I'm saying? And of those, I believe people were already on the Furman bandwagon. So it seems like Princeton is the biggest surprise right now.
Right.
The interesting thing is like, that's what this tournament is about. I was just talking to my buddy before I got to the studio and I was like, man, there's nothing like the tournament. There's nothing like March Madness, man. It's the purest form of sports because you literally, if that team coming in, they feeling good, they shooting good, they can that upset can come. It's one or done. So yeah, man, brackets are busted. That one, all I need is one mic. Busted. You know what I'm saying? So
well, I can't say I did listen to Mitch and Furman was one of his picks. And I did advance Furman to the next round. So that bracket is only a little shaky with Princeton winning. It's just a little shaky. A little shaky. It ain't too far out of the way yet. Perfect, no. A little shaky. A little
Close,
shaky.
but no cigar.
Exactly. So I mean, as I look at some of the stats we have right now, that West Virginia game ended up being a pretty good game.
Yeah,
Down to 2 points. They barely hung on there. They did their thing. Alabama, who's the #1 seed, they went out and handled business. Showed why. You know, I hate to say this. Why they roll tide.
It's okay, man. It's okay. Listen, basketball, it don't even count the same. Hey, you got it where it matters most. In between them white lines. You ain't gotta worry about it. You know what I'm saying? You could kick them feet back on them on that one. On the basketball court, that's cool. Let them have their little fun.
For sure. Oh, Bruce Grimes say Princeton did make me some money today. Bruce, always.
Bruce, you are the man, dog. Like, you are the man.
Checks. He is always cashing some checks, boy. He is out there putting it together, throwing out some good stuff, going on some good stuff. Right now, who we got going on right now? We got Auburn and Iowa. Auburn's up by 10. Oral Roberts and Duke. Duke is doing their thing. They showing that they're going to bounce back and do their thing. UT, they got Colgate. They doing their thing against Colgate. They're up early, almost 10, 12 right now. And Northwestern and Boise State, they up like 6. So right now the games, they're early. Only ones in the second quarter is Auburn, Iowa. Auburn is up 10. A lot of SEC teams are winning.
Yeah.
Coincidence?
No, but only because they play football the same way they play basketball. They want to play bully ball. They want to be rough and tough, and it's like there's no finesse in the SEC. So, no, I'm not surprised because if you built like it, if you good enough, then you'll run an SEC basketball team off the court typically. But Auburn's been pretty good. Alabama's been pretty good. It's one more. Well, Kentucky's kind of in a league of their own, but of course, Kentucky. So yeah, I'm not surprised. No, I'm not surprised. I'm really not. Yeah, they going out there deboing. So
not that deboing. Which is cool. So this is gonna be interesting. Let me see. What's a game that's gonna be good later on today that hasn't played that I can think of? I can't think of one off the top of my head. I think all the good games that we suspected went just the way it was supposed to. Maybe the Penn State Texas A&M game, that might be a good one.
Yeah, and I'm like, records ain't gonna tell everything, but you got a 23-10 Tennessee team against a 26-7 Louisiana team. So, sometimes in those mid majors, those teams are really good. If you go look at like when Stephen F. Austin was having their little run, the Lumberjacks and stuff like that, they were making it to the tournament consistently. It could be one of those things to look out for. But you never know. You know what I'm saying? For all intents and purposes, it looked like Princeton went in there and just shut them down. You're talking about 59-55. You know how ugly a game that is?
Right.
For college kids, that's a rough one. You know what I'm saying? So kudos to Bruce and everybody making money off of that, man, because it's kind of hard, man. Because if you one false pick in that, you could completely destroy your bracket. Completely. So you got to kind of know your work.
For those of you who had not joined, I think there's still time before they lock the brackets. I think. I'm not sure. I had to double check. But if you go to ESPN.com and you search, I'm going to put it in the chat for First Stream Podcast 2023 and join us. Put as many brackets you want to in as you can. And then hang on. Like I said, I'm not sure, but it may be, but it may not be. Uh-oh. Made a mistake there. Boom. Again, if you go to ESPN.com, go to NCAA Men Bracket Challenge, You enter the bracket challenge and you type in search First Spring Podcast 2023. I believe you still have time, but I haven't had a chance to check it and see. If not, then I'm sorry. If so, good luck to you because we giving away some money at the end of the week.
Well, from what I'm looking at, I don't know if this is the same thing, but it says men's tournament challenge. It says, sorry, you can no longer create any brackets for men's tournament challenge. I don't know if that's the same thing or not, but because I'm trying to see where you search once you hit the.
It may be closed. If it is, I'm sorry you didn't get a chance to get in there. So hey, maybe next year.
Right.
Now the next thing we had in is Georgia had a pro day yesterday. They had a pro day yesterday. There was some good, there was some bad, there was some who steady as they already were. So, and then there was some that was slightly disappointing. You know, it's gonna happen. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, but we know who everybody wants to know about. There's only one. You know what I'm saying? It's only one. You know, all the guys who steady Eddie and surprised in a good way don't even compare to people saying that Jalen bombed the pro day. Yes. You know, so do you want to get into some other guys who maybe did surprisingly well, surprisingly bad? Or do you want to go right to Jalen and your thoughts on why that actually did happen?
We can, you know, let's jump right in on Jalen. You know, since he's supposed to be the one, the disappointment. What a lot of people were saying, he was a disappointment of his own pro day is what they're saying. Yeah. First of all, he came in 9 pounds heavier than when he was at the combine. So some scouts were saying that he was unfocused. He wasn't ready. He just think he's just going in the first round based off of all the past work. What I can say about that is he's still a kid. No matter what people say, he's still a kid. Focus. I think the focus is off because of the situation with the street racing, which may or may not have something to do with the crash that killed a teammate. I'm not privy to the facts. I'm not privy to the information going on in the court. I can only say what I've seen and what I read, which what most people have read at this point. He pleaded no contest. It was a deal to avoid jail time.
Saw that today. Yeah.
I think that took away his focus of being ready for the pro day. I do personally. I would hope some of those guys who were in the NFL who came out last year would reach down to him. Hey, you got to try to block it out. Need you to get your mind together, get this together. Let's be ready to go.
Question. Got a couple questions.
Go ahead.
Number one, do you believe that if that is the case, like you said, not privy to all the information, but just outside perspective, do you believe that it's justified, even for, being a kid or being, for this projected star to be in the NFL, high draft pick, number one pick, whatever? Does the situation warrant in your mind? Now, you're talking about a guy who's probably been used to pressure moments his whole life, in a sense. Always been eyeballs on you and attention. If that was the case, does it seem justified? That's number one. Okay. The second thing is, does it kind of give you a prelude to maybe this kid won't be as locked in or mature in the NFL? It's a whole nother level, whole different set of exposure. Does this kind of give you cause to say, maybe he won't be the guy that we thought he could be?
Right. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna start with the second question first. Because if you go back and review any of the articles from some of those guys who were drafted last year, Davis, Travon Walker, previous year Campbell, you will see that those guys took that work ethic that they had at Georgia, they took it to the NFL. I remember reading an article them telling Trayvon Walker, "We need you to dial it back a little bit." I mean, that's
Yeah.
literally what they put in
Yeah.
the article.
Yeah.
We keep telling them you got to dial it back a little bit. He was like, "What do you mean? This is how we practice." Now, with that being said, I believe that he can show up to any one of the teams that get him and be ready and be motivated. Because at this point, this is costing him money,
Mm-hmm.
potential money. Because I've seen some of the mock drafts. Some of the mock drafts have him falling 8, 9, 10, 11. I've seen one with each one of those. And we're pulling Will Anderson from Alabama into the number 1 spot, defensive end. You know, he did well. He had times where he didn't play, but push him to number 1 spot.
Mm-hmm.
Now, to answer the first question, I think it did. I think it did change his focus because the idea of you losing everything, he had the potential to lose everything. He had the potential to be going to prison or jail. I'm gonna say jail. I don't think he's going to prison, but jail. You know, maybe not for an extended period of time, but a period of time that would make his draft stock completely tank to the free agent zone. Okay, we'll or not free agent zone to the 7th round. We'll draft him, hold on to his rights, and see if when he comes back, he'll be ready to go. Because teams will do that.
Oh yeah.
They'll do that.
Oh yeah.
I got a number 1 pick in the 7th round. I'm holding on to that. He's gonna have to come out and bomb before I drop him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I think yes, I think some of that did change his focus. You know, and like I said,
And
I
is it?
would go ahead.
And I so yeah, and then I want to just clarify the first question. Is it justifiably so? Like, should that have not deterred him from going in and being, because it's almost like when guys say, man, when I step between those lines, man, that's a safe haven. That's where it's just me and what I do best. You know, and I mean, of course, this is a person to person thing. You're talking about somebody dying. It's not the same as, you know what I'm saying? Even
Right.
a DUI or arguing with your girlfriend, and it's hard to put yourself in that guy's shoes, but it's like, you know what I'm saying?
You got to also remember he's no longer in the team aspect anymore.
Yeah.
You know, he's not a part of the team anymore. The team is doing spring drills. They over here doing spring drills.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a part of the team anymore. He's not doing those bloody Tuesdays. He's not running them bleachers. Well, okay, he's not made to run those bleachers anymore. It's voluntary at this point. You know, or how far has the University of Georgia limited his ability to condition, do different things at the school, where that's his safe haven. That's where his normal things have been done. You know, again, we're not privy to the information, but that would make sense. It's still. I thought it would have been motivation for him. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
But again, I'm older.
Yeah.
I see that side of it. But for them to say, look, XYZ, we going to put you in for at least a year. Wait a minute. That may have changed his mentality for a minute on what he saw about what we could do or what he could do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah. You coming out back-to-back national championships, walking around campus, you the man, and then next thing you know, somebody dead and you facing jail time. It's kind of hard to get up to go do a drill or two. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm like 9 pounds heavier. It's all kind of pointing to you was down on yourself. You was nervous. Like it definitely it does lend to. I mean, I think at the end of the day, justifiably so. Like, you made a mistake the problem that I have is that sometimes we look at these athletes and we make them larger than life, and we have unrealistic expectations for who they are or what they should do. And at the end of the day, they're still men. You know what I'm saying? They're a
Mhm.
human being that have feelings, that go through things, that have emotions, and we're so quick to, hey, oh no, your stock is gonna plummet. He's like, do you think I care if I go from the first pick to the 20th pick when I got to worry about dropping the soap? Maybe it's just different, man. So, you know, I hope that it works out for the kid. You know what I'm saying, and that he can step out and show them who he really is. Because at the end of the day, man, that's what I was gonna ask you too, or just kind of an assessment. It's almost as if they don't understand how close these things are to happening on a regular basis. You see what I'm saying? It's like these young kids are adrenaline junkies. They're
Right.
seeking these things out. Their prefrontal cortex is not developed, or prefrontal lobe is not developed. It's actually
Right.
underdeveloped. So they're man, they doing all type of stuff at this age that we probably wouldn't want to know about. It just so
Right.
happened that he was involved in the one incident that ended up in something fatal happening. And I
Right.
think that's what we got to kind of take a step back, because I'm like, I know me at 17, 18, 19 years old. My brother, you talk about, yeah, it was some risk taking. You know what I'm saying? It was definitely some risk taking going on. I mean, you probably could say the same. So it just depends. So it's like, don't get too down on the kid, but
Right.
hopefully he gets his head back in the game, because if you do get to make it on the other side, you can change your family's life forever, regardless. So,
That's true. That's true. Now on to a guy who's hot. Actually, there were two guys.
mhm.
There were two guys who got hot during the combine, whose names have been skyrocketing back into the first round. All right. One, linebacker / defensive end Nolan Smith. Two,
Mhm.
Agent Zero, Big Darnell Washington. From what I saw from Darnell Washington,
Mhm.
they remeasured him. I don't know who it was, and he's 6'7". And if you see him standing next to Brock Bowers, who was the number one, who called everything last year,
Mhm.
he looks like 6'7", and Brock Bowers is 6 feet. He's actually 6'5", but it doesn't
Dang.
look like it.
Yeah, he's an ogre of a man. Let's just be clear here. Um, what's his? So let me ask you this:
Yes,
what's his ceiling in your estimation? Who is he comparable to? What do you
Tony
see?
Gonzalez.
Tony, come
Because
on,
listen, let me
Tony.
tell you, let me tell
No,
you,
no, I'm,
let me
I'm
tell you.
just,
Wait,
I'm
wait.
just taking it in.
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why.
Yeah.
In high school, when Georgia recruited him,
Mm-hmm.
he was catching 50 to 60 balls a year.
Mm-hmm.
Tight end was
Yeah.
catching 50 to 60 balls a year. He hasn't gotten past 25 at Georgia.
And it's
So
you gonna run the ball there. You're gonna run the ball. That's gonna take away snaps. You got
right,
other talented receivers. That's gonna take away snaps.
right,
You got other tight ends. That's gonna take away snaps. Like,
right.
yeah, so you can see how those numbers would deduce, and how he could get to the league and be Travis Kelsey, whoever you want to name. Yeah, I get your point. I get
Now,
your point.
now I see a pick. I see he's made it now. I see a metaphor. I see you up in there. He made it into the chat.
He
Now,
think Jacoby Brissett finna be the next coming of Fred
hey,
Tarkenton or something.
another reason I say that, he had the longest arms of a tight end. So
Yeah.
now, let's say this: he's 6'7".
Mm-hmm.
You're throwing a. I mean, it has to be at least a 6'1" DB on him. Any
Mm-hmm.
linebackers at 5'10" aren't going to be able to guard him. So you're throwing the ball to the top, just above the field goal. He's jumping.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to have some. You not only gonna have to have wheels, you're gonna have to be able to knock him off his route.
Yep.
You know
And
what
we
I'm
see how,
saying?
and we see how that worked a lot of the time for Gronk.
Exactly.
When those guys are big and imposing like that, you gonna have to pack your lunch, buddy. Because if they can
That's right,
run at that size,
man.
then you got to put a smaller, speedier guy. Then that means he gonna body him. It's like these guys. I don't know what they feeding them. I don't know what's going on, but they are trouble. Like I'm like you talking about. Just think. I'm thinking back to because Tony was before my time, but I'm like I was back into Shannon Sharp. Just a big, physically imposing guy. You look at Antonio Gates, just big, imposing, got
Right.
speed. Like it's a long day. It's a long day at the office.
That's right.
So
And see, and like unlike him, I'm not going to compare him to Kelsey because I think Kelsey's probably faster.
yeah,
He's more of a route tactician than Darnell Washington, but Darnell Washington is big enough to be an offensive lineman.
yeah.
So now you got him crashing down on the D end and then going out for a pass. So now the linebacker cannot run to the running back because you got a 6'7" guy running at you. Is he coming to block me?
Yeah.
Or is he going out for a pass?
Yeah, exactly.
And see, with him he hurt his foot as a sophomore, which kept him out. And that's what allowed Brock Bowers to pop onto the scene and take over.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the team that gets him is going to be in for a pleasant surprise. Big hands, long arms, wingspan.
Yeah.
You don't have to be perfect. You have to get it close to him. He's going to catch the ball.
Now is Bowers coming out too?
Next year.
Okay.
He got 1 year left.
Ooh, I knew because my thing is if both of them was coming out, I know we getting one of them. I know we was getting. I know for a fact, Jack. I'm like, don't take zero. I take Bowers. I don't give a crap which one, but I knew we was gonna grab him. So anyway, yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how this guy because okay, and if we could just detour off of this for just a second.
Okay.
Falcons. There was so much fuss about y'all's number one pick. And from what you saw, was he worth the billing, even with all of the issues at lineman and at quarterback, of course?
Well, see, I got to watch Pitts in the SEC. He played Georgia every year.
True, but we talking about going to the next level. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, we know he was all in the bag of chips, in the SEC. But I'm like, were there any consistent flashes before he got hurt where he got opportunities where you were like, okay, that's the kid I remember from Florida?
He did with Matt Ryan. Not taking nothing from Mariota.
Yeah.
But Mariota was passing challenged at times.
Yeah.
And before Pick said, nah, I can remember a game when we was down the 3-yard line against Washington, a game we should have won. He threw an interception.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, he's fast like a wide receiver, but he had the body of a tight end.
Yeah.
So him running those routes, cornerback on was too small, linebackers too slow. Well, not these line, not the new linebackers.
Yeah, these new guys, the Jamins and the and the
these new guys,
Kobe Deans and all these guys. Yeah,
that's more of That's more of using technique against the new linebackers. And see, the thing is, with them trading for John O. Smith, I know they're not going after him because Pitts and Washington would have been awesome. Pitts is not going to be back until late October.
Right, that's what November. I was hearing. Yeah,
usually takes a year to recover. It's going to take another full year before he's back to 100%. So with them picking up John O. Smith, I know right now they're not going to draft a tight end.
Yeah,
that's how they work. Okay, but back to the team. Nolan Smith has made money with the 40. He's a tweener.
Yeah.
He's not very, very big, but he's fast, upper body strength. He's a tweener.
And what's his position?
He played defensive end.
Okay.
Defensive end and linebacker. So he's a tweener, so he can go back and forth. When him running that 4-4, It put him at he's a tweener.
Yeah, either way. Yeah, I don't really care if if you listen, if you're a 4-4, I don't care if you're DN or linebacker, it really don't make a difference. You're gonna get there in a hurry. But
Exactly.
but with him being a tweener, which position seems more natural just from what meets the eye? And if he ends up being whichever position that he ends up being at, do you see it being like an easier transition to be able to say, okay, if I'm at DN, I need to fill out some more. You know what I'm saying? If I'm at linebacker, I can pretty much accommodate for whatever the shortcomings may be. So what are your thoughts on that?
He played more. He played more DN
Okay.
than he did anything else. So with him playing the DN and coming off there, I think his first 10 was like 175 or something like that, which was fast for a DN. Which means his first 10 steps, if you don't get him quick, you don't get hands on him. Out of
he
that.
up in you. He up in you. Well, pause.
So pause. But as long and it looked from what I've seen on tape of him, he's put on a little weight, little muscle look like he put on some muscle. So he's getting ready. The pec is healed, which was out here, the torn pec. He had surgery, so that's healed. So he's gonna be ready for whatever training camp he goes to. Now, last but not least, Stetson Bennett. Stetson Bennett.
Hold on, let me talk to the audience real quick. Why you keep trying to shove him down our throat? Come on, hey, metaphor pick. Hold on, let me see. If y'all still in here, just let me know. Bruce, why you keep trying to shove Stetson down our throat, man?
Hey, as I said, last but not least, Stetson Bennett, the guy who seems to not go away and seems to still show up when he's not supposed to show up. The word is Stetson Bennett had an excellent pro day. He missed a couple of shots. They said, but other than that, they had people out there watching him. They had NFL scouts out there watching him, seeing what he was doing. Someone liked what he was doing. Look, he at first they were saying the 5th round. Now it seems that they think he may go as high as the 3rd round.
That's what I was figuring.
Don't ask me to who, but I've heard Miami was 1, but I've seen as high as the 3rd round.
Or Atlanta. You said you don't want him though, huh?
I like Stetson Bennett. I would again. You got 2 rookies. You've drafted 2 rookies.
But is he better than Ritter?
He won. You got to say, yeah, he won 2 chips. He won 2 back-to-back. He led the team to 2 back-to-back chips.
Okay.
So you can't take that away.
Yeah, no, that's fact.
You can't take that away. My thing is, can he keep it locked in when he's supposed to? There were games where it just seemed like matter of fact against who was that? What team was that? Against TCU. Perfect example. They're blaming it on the running back, but as you can see at the hike of the ball, it's like the linebacker has seen this play before. They were throwing it to the running back on a wheel route. The linebacker stayed on the inside. So instead of Stetson Bennett making an adjustment and throwing it to the outside shoulder, he still threw it to the inside. They kind of try to blame it on the running back, but it looks like Stetson Bennett should have adjusted anyway.
Yeah.
Stuff like that right there. But you just don't know. They just said that, he threw 50-plus balls. They say he looked good. Air routes, rollouts, anticipation. This is what they keep saying, and it say so many of these teams are surprised at how well he's throwing the ball. He had times where he did well, but he's also had times like, what is he looking at? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
Could it also been one of them things where he knew the talent he had, and he just kind of wanted to trust the receivers and kind of put it up there?
I mean, there were a few of those. There were a few of those. Even the touchdown he threw to A.D. Mitchell against Alabama on an offsides play. He threw it up there. It was short.
Mm-hmm.
A.D. Mitchell slowed down and jumped, kind of behind the DB and caught that ball and pulled it in.
Yeah.
Instead of leading him. I mean, it was a good catch. UT, y'all get to see A.D. Mitchell. He came back home. He did. He said he wanted to be closer to home. Got 2 chips in the pocket. He gonna play at University of Texas next year. I like A.D. Mitchell. I really do. I really, really do.
Let's do it.
So it's stuff like that right there. You know what I'm saying? It's stuff like that to see. Can he keep his mind locked in on the game plan? Boom, boom, boom. I think it's gonna. He have to go to a team that's gonna allow him to sit at least 1 year to get the game speed, I guess you can say.
Mm-hmm.
I do think Miami is going to draft a quarterback. I mean, we've discussed this, between you and me and on the podcast. We think Tua might need to retire.
Yeah, I hate it for him.
I don't want to see him go out, on the football field.
I was making an argument. I was arguing with my brother, and I said, I everybody knows me. I'm not a Rain Dakota Prescott fan here. And I said, Dak is not a top 10, 12 player. He's fringe around that area. And then we started looking at players, and it got kind of tight. Once we got around 8, 9, that list started getting a little short. But it was mainly, but the only reason is because it's kind of hard to put guys who didn't make the playoffs above a guy who's been making the playoffs almost every year of his career, except for injury.
Right.
But I don't know, man. I think if I'm going back to your guy, I could actually see I could see somebody like Miami drafting him. I could see Jerry drafting a guy like him, if I'm being honest. I really do. And my point was that I felt like, barring concussion issues, Tua Tunga is better than Dak Prescott. His record, when healthy, and that's a big win, shows that they win when he plays. Period. We don't know what the team would have looked like or how far they could have actually gone if he ain't throwing up gang signs after so long. And I'm not trying to be the funny here, but it's just the truth of what we saw. So, my brother is taller than me, actually. My brother may actually be taller than Pick, but he's not. It's weird. So my brother's like, he's a little taller than me, but he's actually maybe a little bit taller than Pick. My brother's probably legit 5'7" and a quarter, probably. He's taller than Pick, though. Even with them high heel shoes he's wearing, he's still taller than Pick.
He's taller than Pick.
Yeah, he's taller than Pick for sure. But anyway, but yeah, so I can see that. I can see Miami doing that. I can see Jerry doing that. And once again, my argument was, the Tua Tungas, the Pickets. Is it Pickens? The Pickens of the world. Pickets. I think he's better than Dak. I'm just being honest. I know he's a rookie. I'm sorry. I've seen that guy do more with less than I've ever seen Dak do with a whole bunch. And that's just my assessment. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, yeah.
Hey, that's what we not going to do, is say that your brother is taller than Pick. That's what's not going to happen. That's what's not going to happen right there. All right. First off, Pick is every bit of 5'8". All right.
Boy, stop drinking them drugs, man.
We is not going to do that. We is not going to say that your brother is taller than Pick. Listen, first, let me apologize, right? Thursdays, Dan Snyder, he got a party. He throws a heck of a party.
Lottie-dottie.
Right. So say it.
Yeah.
You tripping. You talking about Tony Gonzalez
Yes.
is the comp for Darnell Washington?
Yes.
No, said. No, said. I think the
He's
perfect
actually
comp is what
taller.
Ant said.
He's actually taller than Gonzalez.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no. I think the perfect comp is Antonio Gates. Big body tight end. He can route you up. He can post you up. He's a matchup nightmare. I think Ant hit that one spot on. I think it's Antonio Gonzalez.
He's
I'm
still
sorry.
out here
I
with
just
heels.
Antonio Gates. I done. Bruce, I don't wear no damn heels, Bruce. Hey, HR is not here today.
They call them platform shoes.
I don't wear
Like a
platforms either.
platform. No,
Hey,
I mean,
HR ain't gonna save nobody today.
The reason I said Gonzalez, there was a play where when Gonzalez was still playing with what you call it? Kansas City. Yeah, Kansas City. Where he went down and did like a slant that heading right toward the field goal pole. And they threw the ball, and he caught the ball kind of like this, above the DB. And there's another play where Darnell Washington caught a pass like that against Alabama, and that's what reminded me of.
But Tony, now you talking special. Tony's special. All right.
I mean, Pick,
So
he's
even
not in
Antonio
the league
Gates-
yet, Pick. It'd be different
But
if it was
I'm
he's
just
not in the
saying,
league
you
yet.
could think of a better comp. We're gonna have to do that. Say we got to give you some homework.
Dude,
But Tony,
again,
no, I'm not gonna let you get that.
Like I told Ant, you got a guy who went from getting the ball thrown his way 50 to 60 times a year in Nevada to come to Georgia, where he might have got it thrown to him 25 times in a year. Maybe.
All right, so hold on, wait. Let's go back to Nolan Smith. Nolan Smith made himself some money at Georgia's pro day.
Yeah, he's gonna be a tweener.
Nolan Smith is an off the ball linebacker.
Yeah, tweener.
He gonna be he ain't gonna be no DN, because if they can put their hands on him, he's done. If they get
not all of them, not
if
all
offensive
of them.
tackles, if offensive tackle, that's college said. If
same
these
college players go to the pro, Pick.
Say it. If these NFL tackles and tight ends put their hands on them, you saw the movie The Blind Side. They gonna drop his ass off at the bus.
Now,
too light.
Wait. The same guy. Wait a minute. The same guy who everybody loved and admired and drooled over went against Georgia and got shut out. Right?
Say it.
Did he not?
That's beside.
Wait, Pick. Did he not? Did he not come to a game against Georgia and no show?
Who you talking
with
about?
The Georgia offensive linemen. Them same offensive linemen that Nolan Smith went up against every Tuesday on Bloody Tuesday and began to beat.
You know, Pick, like how your corns feel after you wear them high heels.
I'm just giving you an example.
Say it. What are you talking about? Who has he gone? Who has Nolan Smith gone up against? That's supposed to be an all-world tackle and no show.
Roderick Jones. He shut down Hutchinson. Hutchinson no showed against Georgia.
You talking about?
Hutchinson,
You talking about? Hold on. Say it. Nolan Smith is a defensive end linebacker, right?
He's a tweener. No, he's a defensive end. He's a tweener.
He's a defensive end or off the ball linebacker. Right. Now, when would two defenses be on the field at the same time? Say it. Never.
Usually when he played a defensive end, Pick.
Say it. Okay, but we talking about. Say it. I'm trying to do, Pick. Say it. Calm down. Okay. What I'm saying is, Nolan Smith is going to be an off the ball linebacker.
I'm just telling you, he's a tweener.
Because he's light. He's light. Yeah, he is. He's absolutely that.
But I tell you this. He's a tweener.
But I tell you this,
he's gonna play defensive end.
Hey, hold on 1 second.
They compete.
1 second. Sid. 1 second. Hey, Ant.
I'm listening.
Ant, I'm said I need you just listen to this conversation right here. Hey, Ant, do you remember when Philadelphia played the Cowboys? Right? You muted right now.
Which time? What year?
This the last season,
Mm-hmm.
right? The last season, um, when Jalen
Uh-huh.
played, okay. Michael Parsons, up until that point, had been throwing people out of the club, out the bar, everything, right?
Not totally true, but
He
I hear
he
you.
had been he had been dogging tackles and everything.
Not totally true, but I feel you.
Philadelphia decided, let's run at Michael Parsons. Is that correct? That's pretty much what happened, right? And
Yeah.
Michael Parsons then was put into a quandary. I got to take on this tackle. I got to take on this fullback. I got to take on this trapping uh, tight end that's coming down to block me.
Mm-hmm.
And he had problems, right?
Yep.
But he did play off the ball. Michael Parsons plays off the ball. They pulled him
He's a
off the
10.
ball, and Michael Parsons was a little bit more effective. Say it. Now back to you. If you put Nolan Smith on the defensive end at a defensive end position, I'm running the ball at him all day. Now you take him
Well, you know
off the
what? You
ball.
do
You take him
just that.
off the line.
You do
take him-
just that.
You take him off the line. Now he might give me a problem because he may give my pulling tackles or guards some problems in getting their hands on him.
Because if I remember correctly, in the championship game, Bryce Young was rolling to his right.
Shut up,
Nolan
metaphor.
Smith, wait. Nolan Smith throws the offensive tackle to the side and runs who down?
Hey, that is a college tackle. That's not a grown man.
So
Do you
you
think
telling me the college tackles don't go to the NFL, Pick?
No, I'm just saying. Do you think that when they go to the NFL, they get stronger? Say it. They
Yes.
get bigger, faster, stronger.
Well, he's not gonna get stronger.
Yes.
He gonna stay
Okay.
weak.
Okay, say it. Do you think he would do that to
come on, Pick.
Orlando Brown? Do you think he'd do that to Orlando Brown Jr. right now? This year coming up? He ain't throwing nobody out the club this year coming up, say it.
But see, the thing is, he's
Michael Parsons
learned
did
how to
his
set
first
them
year.
up.
No, Michael Parsons did it his second year.
He's been doing that stuff, bro. Why you
No,
think
he
they're making
hasn't.
such a big deal?
Man, you go back and look at Michael Parsons making a
You
tackle
go
go
back and look at it.
sideways.
I'm
That
a
was
Cowboy
this
fan.
year.
I watched the games. What are you talking
No,
about?
you didn't. No,
There's
you didn't.
nothing new.
That's not true. You don't watch football games, and you watch highlights.
I watch them with them glasses you got on.
You know what?
I see them in 3D. But
Hey, first off, Ant,
I like those.
Hey.
Metaphor said you got on your driving glasses.
you tell Metaphor shut the hell up.
Woo.
Hey, look, check it out.
Yes, sir.
Hey, now George said they've been on here giving a full Georgia breakdown. Now ask how many of those players are the Falcons gonna draft.
We don't know. Hopefully they draft one. I'm not gonna lie. This is getting out of hand.
Hopefully, Rodney Jones falls to Atlanta. If Jalen is still there, they should take Jalen.
All right. Okay,
They
hold
still
on.
need
Listen.
help on
Hey,
defensive
have
line.
we covered the NCAA yet?
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, we already shot past that player.
Princeton, Furman. We covered those upsets.
We going in order.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
on the way to
listen,
the Cowboy free agents next.
I do got to say one thing about this though.
Let's do it because we're trying to OG classic them.
The NFL season has been over since February 12th, 13th, something like that,
Something
right?
like that, yeah.
Super Bowl champs.
Yeah.
But we haven't stopped talking NFL yet. It's a
Right.
freaking machine.
Yeah.
And we got free agency going on during the tournament. Like this used to be, I can remember being in school and the teachers were rolling big old TVs in, right?
So that's the end of the year.
Yeah, so we can watch the NCAA tournament. Right, hey,
all
you know what?
Go to heaven.
You know what, metaphor? Hey, metaphor. I'm about to
He
put
said
you in
those
time
glasses 1080p. Woo, he is roasting you today. He said
wanna
you
roast
58
me.
centimeters long. Pause.
Look, but hey, said you remember that, right? This used to be national. We go to school, we ain't doing no work. Everybody's watching the basketball games.
True.
Oh wait, y'all used to watch what? Y'all used to actually
Basketball
watch the games?
Yeah.
See, that's why we got better jobs than y'all, because our teachers still made us work.
You know what?
Nah.
You know what? You don't really have a better job than me.
I'm not saying that in real life. Trust me, brother.
You know what, Pick?
Hey, you don't even got to be able to count the work at the post office.
You know what, Pick?
What's up, Sid?
2018. I'm looking at the stats compared to Aiden Hutchinson and Nolan Smith. Right?
Okay. Right.
Aiden Hudson's highest solo tackles was 35. I'm sorry, it was 36. He did it in 2021.
Okay.
All right. Nolan Smith highest in tackles was 31, playing part-time.
Okay, hold on, Sid. When you talk about Nolan Smith, give me a body type. What is his body type? Who could you compare him to in the NFL?
I would say because Hutchinson's a big kid.
Dude, he's 6'3", 235.
Hutchinson?
Who's 6'3"? How big is Hutchinson?
Hutchinson, he's 6'6".
He's a big kid. That's what I'm saying.
265.
He's a big dude.
You see the difference in there? He's 30 pounds lighter, Sid, and 3 inches shorter.
And what did he do in the championship? What did he do against Georgia?
Say it. Georgia's offensive line looks like an NFL offensive line.
And guess who plays against him on a daily basis? I'm glad you said that. Who?
I'm just saying.
Who?
But say
You fell for
who plays against him on a daily basis? I can't hear you.
Hold on. But hey, what's the difference? What's the difference? What is the difference between Georgia's offensive line and an offensive line in the NFL?
Nothing.
What is the big difference?
They're older.
Signing the contract.
They're stronger. They're stronger. They have more technique. They have more technique.
Like
not every one of Georgia's offensive linemen goes to the NFL.
But you're also failing to realize that these guys ain't that doggone far off. Pick, they ain't gonna learn that much more stuff. Dog. They gonna stand there and block people.
No, they're gonna learn a lot more. They're gonna learn a lot more.
So when you was in alignment camp, what did y'all learn?
Say that again.
When you were in lineman camp, what did you learn?
First off, I never went to lineman.
Exactly. So stop acting like you know what goes on there.
Hey, but hold on. Hey, but won't you ask me about what happened when I went to DB camp though?
I don't care because we're not talking about DBs. We're talking about
and ask me how much more did I learn, Anthony? And ask me how much more did I learn. Ask me how the placing my foot in one particular spot made a big ass difference.
Yeah, when you put it in that heel, you go like this.
You know what? You shut your ass up and
you go like that.
You know what?
So anyway,
I'm on the way. I'm about to pull up, man.
I'm about to be up by the time you get there.
But you will be there.
Bro,
you will be there.
Listen, man, we got Cowboy free agency and backup QB. That's all we got. We didn't hit everything. You understand me? Like they ain't talking about how people finna get dusty eggs fertilized at the Tank concert. You just
she's at the New Edition concert.
Yeah, but Tank performing, I thought.
Tank is gonna be there too. She said.
Yeah,
Tank is there. Oh, Lady A finna have a whole org.
Man, come on. See, that's what I'm saying. Just tell the people bye, man, so we can finish up.
Okay, that's enough about the UGA players going to the NFL. Our next topic is Cowboys free agency. How have they done? What can they do? Do you like what they've done so far? So we're going to turn to our agent of the Cowboys, the man who knows the ins and outs, the man who dislikes the quarterback but respects him for showing up. Our man, Aunt Mo.
Aunt Mo, get it.
Thank you. Actually, I don't respect that man at all.
Why he gets center screen?
Hey man, why you disrespecting me? You don't do this when Lady A do her hot tea.
Why he get a whole full screen?
You don't do this to Lady A when she do her hot tea topics. When we
if
we said Ass said anything, you ain't do this to him. So why you always trying to interrupt me, man?
I'm just saying. Listen, Aunt, you are my guy. I appreciate what you bring, right? But what I'm saying is, Aunt, you just kick everybody out the way, and this is the Aunt Mo show. Go for it, sir.
It's not the Aunt Mo show. Don't do that.
Hey, go for it. Go ahead,
give us an update on
the biggest news of today. I'm sure everybody saw it come across the wire today or yesterday. J-Ron Curse got signed to a 1-year deal because nobody cares about Ezekiel Elliott getting cut. Okay, let's just keep it a stack here. Okay, the guy is old. He's slow. He's
Say,
fat.
put me backstage, please.
He's old. He's slow. He's fat. Okay, this guy should have been cut a long time ago. He should have never been gave a $90 million contract extension. That's just how this goes. You understand me? But that's what Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys have done for years. So Ezekiel Elliott, yeah, it was the news of the day was Zeke. But I will say this. I appreciate the Cowboys for doing what needed to be done, albeit a year or two too late. You kept Tony Pollard. He was clearly the better running back. At some point, you got to get out of the emotion of all that comes along with this guy. We drafted this guy. He wore crop top jerseys, all this crap that means nothing. He jumps in the Salvation Army kettlebell. That stuff's all cool, but we need production on the field. He's
Right.
been ineffective in 2 consecutive playoff games. He's contributed nothing. When Tony Pollard got hurt, we essentially knew that we were going to get nothing out of that running back room. So once again, Ezekiel Elliott got cut. I heard news that he was possibly signing with the Chiefs, but why would the Chiefs want to sign him? I have no clue. I mean, and this is no disrespect, but Zeke, his time is done. His body is tapped. There's nothing else to get out of that turnip. You understand me? Um, but and then on a serious note though, too, J-Ron Curse was a solid. He's a safety, but he's also a key component to our special teams. They brought him back on a year deal. We're still talking. We're still in talks with Odell Beckham. So I'm interested to see how the draft in company with this free agency is going to go. They also restructured DeMarcus Lawrence. So they've done a lot of
Oh.
restructuring. Yeah, they've done a lot of restructuring.
So they trying to open some cap space so they can sign some people.
No, they've opened up a lot of cap space. They restructured Dak, DeMarcus. Who's the other guy that they restructured? Oh, Zach Martin. You know, our Hall of Fame lineman.
Right.
So I think there's another move to be made here, but then we also got to realize that Micah's coming up, and CD's coming up. So you got to find money to pay these guys as well. So there's a lot of work to be done here. But I'm not gonna say that they haven't made some good moves, and we'll see where Stephon Gilmore falls within this. If he's still a guy that can contribute, coming from the Colts, that's not saying much because that was a dumpster fire waiting to happen. So when you put him with Trayvon, and our safeties who are solid safeties, the Cowboys are okay, but the moves. Darren Waller was a big move. Eagles bringing back.
I gotta give y'all a hand clap for that one.
Man, Darren Waller, that's a big pickup. Bringing back
Darren Waller is a monster.
Yes, the Eagles bringing back Darius Slay because they were saying that they were going to cut him or whatever. So Washington. I think Washington's going to be better just surely for getting Eric Bieniemy. So the Cowboys better still continue to make some moves here because they'll get left in the dust before they know it. So,
I think did you guys sign a safety?
The only one I know that I've seen, we signed Donovan Wilson.
Okay, y'all re-signed a safety.
We signed Donovan Wilson to a 3-year deal. I talked about that on the last show. And then we just re-signed safety Javon Curse, on a 1-year deal, but he's more of a special teams guy.
CJ Goodwin, y'all re-signed CJ Goodwin.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? You say what?
He play on. They say he's a special y'all special teams ace.
That's the guy. That's the guy.
I think that's when it popped up earlier today when I was looking at it.
Curse is actually a contributing safety. I'm tripping. I was thinking about Goodwin. You're right. So yeah, that's my fault. But yeah, that's a move we made.
Okay, that's and then Odell Beckham. I don't know what's going on with him, man. I wish I understood what he's looking for in a team he want to play for.
Well, you know what? Let me just interject right here. What we got to understand about him is he had to have a full offseason to recover. You know what I'm saying? He was, 7-8 months post-op, but he still couldn't run or plant. Like, have you seen the video of him actually running this drill, doing drills and running routes now?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, it's a video. If I can remember where I saw it at, excuse me, I'll send it in a group. But yeah, he's doing like straight posts, corners, go routes, like he's planting now. So I think at this point it's him having a real free agency period to shop around and get the best deal based off of what they can actually see him do on film. If we remember, nobody got to see him be active. Everybody just came in, took X-rays and MRIs, and sent him back home. So he was hoping that he could. Which, to be honest, I would have liked to have paid him just to rehab, because now our second, our wide receiver core, being that his knee would be fully healthy, we would be as formidable as we could be right now before the draft. And like, imagine him, CD, maybe in Jigba, like. You know what I'm saying? So I'm in, I think he's gonna pick a big name team though. And with them getting the Darren Waller, the Giants, I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up back over there. Why not go to the team that drafted you? So
yeah, that's a good point. That's a really good point. We're gonna go ahead and talk about his squad while he's not here. Yeah. We're going to talk about the Commanders' quarterback situation. So, the Commanders had exactly one quarterback on the roster at the beginning of free agency.
Mm-hmm.
It was a rookie. Well, technically, he's no longer a rookie.
Right.
So, they turn around and sign Mr. Steady. Come on, don't laugh.
Hey, listen, man. If that's what Steady is,
that's what Jacoby has been. He's been Mr. Steady. He was Mr. Steady with the Colts, right? Before they got rid of him there, he was Mr. Steady with the Patriots, where he started being Mr. Steady Patriots.
Yeah.
Then the Patriots, you know what the Patriots do? They let you be good enough, then they trade you away for other picks.
Yep.
And then he don't play for like 5 teams.
He went. Didn't he have 2 stints? Didn't he have 2 stints with the Patriots? Didn't he leave? Then came back.
And I think didn't he also play with Baltimore?
I'm trying to remember Baltimore. So Patriots, Colts, Patriots, Browns, and you say Baltimore.
Browns. That's what I'm thinking about. Yeah.
Browns. Yeah. Washington Commanders. I mean, listen. My thoughts on Jacoby is, he's a guy who's good enough to be a backup, but not good enough to really be a threat. So, from what we saw from Sam in that one game, and I hope that the Commanders fans don't overreact to that, but that's a good move. You don't want people to be standing to their feet applauding your backup pick. That means something else is going on. So it's a good pick, and I mean, good. You know what I'm saying, a good acquisition.
He went New England, Indy, Miami, Cleveland, and now he in Washington.
Okay, so he didn't go back to the Patriots. Okay.
Yeah, I had to look. I thought he was in. I thought he had went to Baltimore. I might be thinking about Huntley, but I mean, he depending on the system, he can't come in and run the system proficiently.
Yeah.
Having the talent around him, specific offensive line. He played. He had one of his best years was with the Colts, where they had a good offensive line. I think they were 1 game away, maybe 2 games away of making the playoffs, and he threw like 18 touchdowns.
Yeah.
He did his thing. He put up numbers. That was his best year. I think he had 2 years where he was right around 3,000 yards passing. Yeah. So he can do it if there's talent around him. If they are working the system to help him. The problem is now. Hit the wrong button. Now that he's in Washington, with Sam Howell. Yeah. Oh Lord, it sounds Jake Fromm. Anyway, with Sam Howell, the presumable starter.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say the presumable starter. because the guy played well, those last, game or so that they put him in, which means that somebody didn't evaluate his talent properly. That's what I'm going to say. That's my opinion. Because the game that I saw where he was throwing that ball before wide receiver was coming out of breaks, before the DB had a chance to turn around, the D balls that he threw, he's supposed to be the presumable starter.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with that is Brissett has been known to come in and be the starter to whoever's behind it.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Same problem that we have in Atlanta, which you got a rookie coming off a rookie, and he's no longer rookie's first year, then bringing in Heineke. So in some ways, you have two quarterbacks to make one, which means you don't have a star.
Yes.
That's my personal opinion.
Yes.
Hey, can we step back for a second?
Oh, welcome back to Picks. We talking about the
glasses back on, man.
Can we step back? Can we step back for a second? Because I swear I heard Ant say in a roundabout way they need to upgrade their wide receiver position.
No, that's not what.
No,
Well, first of all, hold on. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it.
You just named
Hold on.
Odell Beckham
Hold
Jr.
on. Let me respond.
We wasn't talking about y'all.
Hold on.
No.
Let me respond. No, let me respond. First of all, you always want to be upgrading. That's just the name of the game, sweetheart. That's why you have a draft every year, because you always be upgrading. You understand?
Yeah, you're right. Y'all need to draft Odell Beckham Jr.
How are we gonna draft him? What are you talking about?
Because listen, you just said bring Odell in as a free agent.
Okay.
A guy coming off of an injury, right?
Oh gosh, you make such terrible points. Come on, man.
No, my point is, I told you last year, and you kept blaming it on Rain Dakota Prescott. I said you guys need better weapons for him.
That's not why we lost the playoff game, and we already discuss this, and he got owned in our group on this group.
Excuse me, sir. But you are saying that a need this offseason.
I didn't say a need. I didn't say that was a need. I said, imagine if we could add Njigba is what I said.
Oh, okay. That sounds like a need to me.
Well, you need a new set of ears with your glasses.
Excuse me, sir. If you would like to add Smith and Njigba, one of the top wide receivers,
why not?
Coming out of college this year.
Go 3 or 4 wide. What are we talking about here? That's just the name of the game.
What we were saying about Odell Beckham was that
I heard everything. I'm just saying
everything, but it don't mean you was listening.
My point is, I was listening. My point being, I told you, you guys' wide receiver core is one deep, CeeDee Lamb. And you kept saying it's the quarterback.
It is the quarterback. Your terrible argument.
You know what, Ant? Two things can be correct.
No, 2 things can't be
true.
No,
2 things can be correct.
Your 2 things
and
I'm conceding
the fact that you could be right. It could be your quarterback. But you have to admit that you only have one true wide receiver.
No, we don't only have one true wide receiver. Just because these guys aren't superstars don't mean there's only one true wide receiver. Okay,
so
you said
once
we only have one number one receiver.
So once you double, so help me out here. If you double CeeDee Lamb and remove him from the game, what other wide receiver is going to hurt you?
Well, I'll tell you what, I have no clue because they didn't do it in the most important game of the year.
So that means you have one wide receiver.
No. They didn't double team him and take him out
of
the game.
All right, and you know what? It's okay. And I'm gonna leave it alone. It's okay, and it's all right. And you gotta
hold on, but you gotta show me somebody doing it first, and then we can say, okay well,
hey, Ant.
Hold on, because if you do that, then I can say, well, did the tight end get open? Did the slot guy get open? Did the Y get open?
Obviously, they didn't because they didn't catch a pass. Listen, Ant. Guess what, Ant? I'm gonna leave it alone. You just keep blaming the quarterback. I'm gonna say that you guys need to.
Well, first of all, we weren't talking about the quarterback. We were just talking about. See, you see how these conversations are fruitful.
I just said let's back up. That's all I did.
Okay, wait, Pick. But you have to say when Dak threw that pass that out to that guy, and he missed him. Then he came back again and threw the same pass to the same direction that got picked off.
Noah Brown.
Oh,
by the way, guys, we're talking
That's
about Noah Brown.
quarterback play.
that was is the cornerback. The cornerback made the play.
That's
No. I
quarterback
said
play.
that was a.
I'm not blaming everything.
What about
I'm not-
when he misses guys that are wide open?
Hey, listen. I said two things can be correct. I said you could need an upgraded quarterback. So I'm conceding that Dak Prescott could be the problem.
That's what's up. I ain't conceding nothing.
But I'm also telling you that you only have one good wide receiver.
That's not
That
true.
wears the number 88.
We have one elite receiver.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Those other guys are fine. We didn't.
Okay.
Look, T.Y. Hilton.
Ant, just do this for me. The wide receiver groups in the NFC East, stack them from top to bottom. Who has the best wide receiver group?
In the NFC East?
In the NFC East. That's it. Just tell me the
Eagles,
NFC East,
easy.
stack them top. Eagles? Okay, who's number 2? Really?
Giants.
The Giants don't have a wide receiver core. They went the whole season with no wide receiver core. They should be number 4.
Hold on. Let me think about it. I mean, you got CD, you got TY, you got.
Yo, come on. TY was
gone.
picked up and caught one pass the whole damn season.
Hold on, Noah's gone. So I don't know.
You see this? You see this? You about to make me curse, bro.
Hey, hold on. Let's go back. Don't you yell at me no more. Don't you yell
Come
at
on,
me.
man. Really, Ant. The Eagles are number 1. Go ahead and say the Commanders are number 2. The Cowboys are number 3. And the Giants are number 4.
I mean, I don't know. I can't say that for sure.
Hey, Sam, can you please pull up? Can you please pull up?
Are you trying to drag this show out, Pick?
I'm not trying to drag it out, but you know what, Ant? You refuse to admit things when they're sitting there right in your face.
That's not true. The real order is the real order is the Eagles. It is the Commanders. It is the Cowboys, and then it is the Giants. But
okay, so listen. So y'all came in 3rd, just ahead of a team with zero. I'm gonna say it again. Zero wide receivers.
Anything, sir? That's not saying
anything. That's saying that you guys have one.
They traded the one away.
They traded away a good receiver that they had that they couldn't use.
That they couldn't develop.
No, they couldn't use him. James Toney.
Okay, hey, let's go back.
Toney. He didn't have to be developed. So he all of a sudden went to Kansas City, and after a week, he's developed. No.
Wait, you act like he went to Kansas City and caught 10 passes a game. He didn't.
He doesn't have to. He made.
But y'all act like he went to Kansas City and caught 10 passes a game, and he didn't do that in New York.
He didn't have to do that, sir.
So what are you trying to say? Why y'all trying to make it like he left New York and went to Kansas City and he was a world beater? That's not what happened.
Can I ask you a question? 2 questions. Number 1, why are you yelling? Number 2, why do you have to go to the extreme? Why does he have to go and catch 10 balls in a game for him to be?
So hold on. So did he catch 3 passes a game? So when he went to Kansas City from New York, did he catch 3 passes a game? Say it.
I know in the playoffs he did his thing. Period.
He did something in the Super Bowl.
No,
Pitt can't decipher if his team is holding or not, but he can decipher if Toney had a great game, great games in the playoffs.
Come on, man. Listen,
that's a bit extreme.
And you can't even stack the wide receiver groups in the NFC East properly. Because you don't want to admit that y'all need wide receivers.
Of course, I was joking. I said what the actual order was. So can we?
Okay.
Let's not do that.
So I'm just saying that was my point. Is that y'all do need wide receivers? Y'all need to upgrade it. So it was good to hear you finally. It was good to hear you finally say that. Now let's talk about the Commanders because that's where y'all were, right? I feel as if the Commanders got better on offense and on defense. And I'm not
talking about quarterback. We're
talking about quarterback, man.
Wait. Hold on. I got you. Because the truth be told, there is a quarterback on defense that we didn't have.
He said a quarterback on defense.
There is. It's called a linebacker. But listen, Jacoby Brissett, man. Let's talk about Jacoby Brissett. Jacoby Brissett is what's said called. He's steady, man. He's gonna bring a calmness to the room that hasn't been in that room in a while. Confidence. He's gonna keep those guys loose. It's gonna be a person that when you don't want to, or when you're not hearing your coach, not that you don't want to hear your coach, but when you're not hearing your coach, that he'll get through to you what you need to see. This is what you should see. You got to watch this right here. When you come to the sideline, Jacoby can tell you what's actually going on the field. You know what I mean? Ant, you should be glad that we got Jacoby. Because
I don't care. Why would I care about your
no. Wait. I'm gonna tell you why, Ant. Because I was hearing, and you know I got ears. Not you know what I mean, and you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Cooper Rush was on the agenda.
So what? What is that? So what?
I think he's a really solid. He's a really solid backup, bro.
Hold on, say it. Remember, he kept trying to put words in my mouth. Like I was saying, I thought he was the better quarterback. I'm like, I never said that crap.
You did say it, Ant.
Stop playing with me, man. I would never say Cooper Rush is better than Dak Prescott. It's just not true. They use
you keep trying to find Dakota Prescott.
Hold up. They use his skill sets better than they use Dak's. They should use them the same way. Run the ball 60% of the time, throw it 40%. When they do that with Cooper Rush, we win because he plays within the confines of the quarterback that he is. When Dakota Prescott plays quarterback and he's healthy, they give him the keys to the Jets, and then they say, "Fly us into a freaking bridge." That's what they do.
This is
guess
what?
He doesn't disappoint. Everybody's dead at the end of it.
Hey, this is actually
still haven't been to an NFC championship in over 20 years. So,
but hey, Ant. Actually, that's the first time you've actually said that.
Said what?
That said that they play Dak and Cooper totally different. This is actually the first time you said that
before. Come on, man. That's
not on this podcast.
Boy, stop.
You might have called a radio station and said that.
You don't pay attention like you say you do, sir. That's the difference. I said that. I promise you I said that. Because my whole point was, hold on, because one of y'all even brought up stats. When the Cowboys run the ball more than they pass the ball, they win. It's like significant the percentage that goes up in their winning percentage. That's just common sense.
That may have been said. That said that because the last time I looked up some Cowboys stats, it hurt my eyes, and I just don't want that to happen. But no, but you're right. You're absolutely right because I do remember saying that Cooper Rush, when the more that film we got on him and things like that he would get turnovers and he was
it's when the level of competition. It's once the level of competition rises. When the level of competition goes up there, he ain't finna rise to that occasion because his skill, his ability to push the ball down the field and make proper reads goes down. Because now you're talking about dealing with greater athletes in the secondary. Those ends getting off the line. It's a different ball game when you're playing against whoever those teams are. We played, they're cool, but you saw what happened when we played the Eagles. That was the number one defense in the NFL for a very long time. Not by what the stats may say, but what we saw with our eyes. Secondary.
Do you think that's also part of why you guys' offensive coordinator's gone too, is because he wasn't doing things to help the athletes out, the players out the way that they should, which is another reason why Turner's gone. This is why we kept yelling for him to be gone, because he kept putting us in positions where you're not going to succeed. You're not doing what the athletes do best.
Yeah.
You're doing what you want to do with square peg, round hole.
So let me answer your question. I think that Jerry's favorites always stick around longer than they need to. I think he was a favorite of Jerry's. The same way that
you're talking about the offensive coordinator?
Yes, Kellen Moore. The same way he did Jason Garrett was the way he would have loved to have did Kellen Moore. and I think it's not even a question. But
I can't say what he was doing to Jason Garrett, because only thing I could say about that is, you guys know what a puppet is when you stick and you move their mouth.
no. Hold on.
That's what was happening with Jason Garrett.
But listen, hold on. What I mean by that, what I say, what he did with Jason is what he would love to do. Because let's be honest, Mike McCarthy's a puppet too. What are we talking about? What he did though was, you can't have your coach making $5 million and then you say, okay, you're going to get $4.5 million, and then if anything happens, we're going to put you right in there. That's what I mean. He doesn't like unpredictability. He likes to know exactly what that sandwich going to taste like every day. So
that's what billionaires do.
Yeah, but that ain't what winners do. And that's the problem. Jerry Jones needs to step back and allow these guys to put the best people in position. It's that simple.
Ooh, look at what Bruce just said. Louisiana,
he said,
Lafayette.
can they? He said, can they?
Oh, can Louisiana Lafayette upset Tennessee?
We talked about that. We talked about that in the beginning.
If they grow like 6 inches and toughen up, little cookie.
I don't know about. I mean, no, come on now, Pick. This is the tournament. Anything can happen. A 15 seed just won, and a 13 seed. Like,
I know, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, anything can happen.
Yeah, anything except for Howard beating Kansas. That didn't happen. That did not happen. Hey, listen. Hey, I appreciate y'all for doing what y'all did, and it's all good sports debates, and we in March. This will all play out come September, October, November, December, right? And the way the rosters look right now, they're going to change again because the draft's going to come. And these young kids going to come in here and kick some of these old kids right out the door.
Yeah.
Right? They're going to be like, hey, look here, little vet. Pack your stuff. It's time to go.
The draft is going to be good. The draft is going
to be amazing. Wait till y'all see Said in his bag. He got y'all a little something today.
What I do?
Said's going to be in his bag. He's going to be in his bag during the draft.
He just said, you gave a little taste. You gave a little foretaste. Hey, the black male Kuiper, is that what you're saying?
The black male Kuiper will show up. We'll be like, such and such just got drafted. And say it'll be like, oh, main man runs a 4.34 40, and he played versus this player. Very good hands, but I'm gonna tell you, he can't do this and can't do that.
And his mama calling him Sugarfoot.
It's gonna break it down for you. Hey, and if they have a connection to Georgia, he's definitely gonna break it down for you. So
all over.
Listen, hey, I appreciate y'all, man. You see, I haven't even made it home yet. I'm glad everybody that's on this show today made it through that storm that we had safely, because we was in the middle of something.
He had.
Ant,
what's up?
Ant, did you see that video that Sid sent out yesterday?
I don't think so. What video?
Oh. I'm sending the people to say his house is child abuse. So Sid got his grandson out in this little car and got a Georgia flag on the joint. You saw the video, Ant. You saw the video. Don't worry.
It's in the group chat.
Don't worry. It's in the group chat, and he got him out there. And I said, already said, and he was like, for sure. Yeah, got the Georgia flag. Hey, don't worry. That will become a drop. That video will become a drop.
He just chuckled.
Everybody will see that video, saying it's great. I love the fact that you and your grandson got a great bond. But if he winds up at the University of Georgia instead of the University of Maryland, we're gonna have a problem. He gonna be a Turk. He gonna be a Turk.
I just hope he end up at a university, player. That's my goal. Yeah. My goal is to get him at university, preferably on a fully paid scholarship.
There you go, fully paid scholarship. That's for real.
That's my goal.
I appreciate you doing what you do, sir. Man, you held it down today. I appreciate both of y'all. Right, Lady A. Listen, last time she was gone.
Lady A. Last time she was gone.
Yeah, get it. Last time she was gone, we got HR reports, right? Everybody was getting suspended, and so let's just say, shout out to
wait.
Come on.
I
Come
gotta.
on,
Hey,
Aaron.
you gotta create a violation for her to complain about. I'm sorry.
Shouts out to Mama Lady
Hey,
A.
don't forget her daughter watch the show.
And yes, and her daughter for watching, right? And man, everybody that's gonna give a report today, we appreciate it. Listen, we don't need no HR 31s. We don't need no. Ant said he do want to report. You know,
I gotta stay in the principal office, man. It's safe there.
For sure.
yeah, it's safe in the principal office. Okay, yeah, that's true. Until somebody come punch the principal in the face,
Why we gotta do that to the principal, man?
man. Hey,
That's that PG County stuff.
PG County, baby. Welcome to
Man.
PG. All right, hey, said you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Shouts out to my son, United States Air Force. First Stream Podcast, second to none. Come get some. Tell him, said.
Go Dogs.
Go